Imagine flying with gold-plated seat belt buckles. Elvis Presley's private jet had a master bedroom suite bigger than some apartments. He spent the equivalent of millions today just to customize it. This flying palace was actually a used commercial airliner before the king got his hands on it. And its final flight, it carried his ex-wife and daughter to his own funeral. Number 6. Its last official flight was a somber occasion. The Lisa Marie airplane wasn't just a symbol of Elvis Presley's incredible success and lavish lifestyle. It also played a poignant role right after his untimely death. The plane's final official flight wasn't one filled with music stars or heading towards a glittering Vegas show. Instead, it was a flight steeped in sadness and gore. On August 17, 1977, the day after Elvis passed away, the Lisa Marie flew from California to Memphis, Tennessee. This wasn't a typical passenger list for the King's jet. On board were Elvis's ex-wife, Priscilla Presley, their young daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, after whom the plane was named, of course, and the actor George Hamilton, a close friend of Elvis. Vernon Presley, Elvis's father, had requested the plane be used to bring them to Memphis for the funeral proceedings. Imagine the atmosphere on that flight. The luxurious surroundings, usually filled with laughter, music, and the energy of Elvis and his entourage, would have been silent and heavy with grief. The very plane named after his daughter was now carrying her and her mother to say their final goodbyes. The crew who flew the plane, Captain Elwood David and crew members Ron Strauss and Milo High, were the same ones Elvis trusted during his ownership. They landed the plane in Memphis, delivering its passengers to a city deep in mourning for its most famous resident. This flight marked the end of the Lisa Marie's service under Elvis's ownership, while it flew again later. Specifically its journey to Graceland, where it rests today. This trip carrying Priscilla and Lisa Marie to the funeral is widely considered its last official functional flight connected to the Presley family's immediate needs during that era. It stands as a somber, factual interpoint to the operational history of Elvis's beloved jet, a vehicle that saw the heights of his fame and ultimately played a part in the difficult days following his death. It wasn't stored immediately. It sat for a period before eventually being flown to Graceland in 1984, but that flight carrying his loved ones to his funeral remains a significant marker in the plane's history, a stark contrast to the joyous flights it was primarily known for. Number 5. It had features most people only dream of in a house, let alone a plane. Forget cramped airline seats and tiny bathrooms. When Elvis bought his Convair 880 jet, he didn't just want transportation, he wanted a flying home, a sky-high palace, and he got it. The customization of the Lisa Marie was extensive and incredibly luxurious, reflecting his unique taste and status. The interior, designed by the same team that worked on Air Force One, was completely gutted and rebuilt over several months. One of the most talked about features was the master bedroom suite located towards the rear of the plane. This wasn't just a fold-down bed, it was a proper bedroom featuring a full-size queen bed. Imagine sleeping comfortably at 30,000 feet. The suite also included its own executive bathroom, complete with gold fixtures, but we'll get to that later. Moving forward, there was a dedicated conference room. This space featured a large teakwood table surrounded by comfortable swivel chairs upholstered in plush fabrics. It was designed for Elvis and his team to hold meetings, plan tours, or simply relax and play cards during long flights. The main lounge area was pure 1970s luxury. It boasted comfortable seating arrangements, including couches and swivel chairs covered in fabrics like suede and velour, often in shades of blue, green, and gold. Elvis's preferred color palettes at the time. But the luxury wasn't just visual. It was auditory too. Elvis, being the king of rock and roll, demanded a top-tier sound system. The Lisa Marie was equipped with a quadraphonic stereo system which was cutting-edge technology for the mid-1970s. This system featured multiple speakers strategically placed throughout the cabin, delivering immersive sound. Reports mention 52 speakers integrated into the design. There was also a sophisticated audiovisual system, including televisions and a videotape player, a rarity and a high-tech gadget for personal use back then. Think about watching movies or concert footage while cruising miles above the earth. Even the smaller details screamed luxury. The seat belt buckles weren't standard metal. Many were genuinely gold-plated. Imagine clicking in with gold. The cabin lighting was likely sophisticated, allowing for different moods, and the overall ante was designed to be opulent and comfortable. There was a galley, essentially a small kitchen, equipped to prepare or serve meals and drinks during flights. Crew rest areas were also factored into the design, ensuring the pilots and flight attendants had their own space. The level of detail extended to personal touches like the TCB logo, taking care of business, being incorporated into the design elements. It wasn't just a means of getting from point A to point B. It was a statement piece, a flying extension of Graceland itself, packed with more amenities and creature comforts than many homes on the ground had at the time. Number 4. The cost was absolutely astronomical, especially for the 1970s. Elvis Presley didn't do anything by halves, and purchasing and customizing his own large jet was no exception. The price tag associated with the Lisa Marie is staggering, even more so when you consider the value of money back in the mid-1970s. First, there was the purchase price of the aircraft itself. Elvis bought the used Convair 880 jet from Delta Airlines in April 1975. The initial cost for the plane alone was $250,000. Now, $250,000 in 1975 dollars is equivalent to roughly $1,400,000 today, adjusting for inflation. That's a significant chunk of change just for the basic airframe, engines, and systems of a plane that had already seen years of commercial service. But that was just the beginning, the tip of the financial iceberg. Elvis didn't want a standard airliner interior. He wanted something uniquely his, something fit for a king. He commissioned a complete refurbishment and customization of the plane's interior. This wasn't just a minor makeover, it was a total gutting and rebuilding process. The contract for this extensive interior work went to a company in Fort Worth, Texas. The documented cost for this lavish customization, transforming the former commercial jet into a flying palace, exceeded $600,000. Yes, you read that right. More than double the purchase price was spent just on the interior fittings, the bedroom, the conference room, the sound system, the gold-plated fixtures, and all the other luxurious details. So, let's add that up. $250,000 for the plane plus $600,000 plus for the customization equals over $850,000 total spent in 1975. What does $850,000 from 1975 equate to today? We're talking about approximately $4,800,000 or possibly even more in today's currency. Imagine spending nearly $5 million on a private jet after already buying the plane itself. This was an immense sum of money, representing a significant portion of even Elvis's considerable earnings. It highlights his desire for the best, his penchant for luxury, and his ability to afford practically anything he wanted. The sheer scale of the investment demonstrates that the Lisa Marie wasn't just a convenience. It was a major acquisition, a status symbol, and a project into which Elvis poured substantial financial resources to make it exactly the way he envisioned. The cost alone makes it one of the most remarkable private aircraft of its era. Number 3. Before it was fit for the king, it flew regular folks for Delta. The glamorous Lisa Marie, the jet synonymous with Elvis Presley's jet-setting lifestyle, didn't start its life as a private flying palace. Its origins are much more conventional, rooted in the workaday world of commercial air travel. Before Elvis ever set foot on it, this aircraft served as a passenger airliner for a major U.S. carrier, Delta Airlines. The specific aircraft is a Convair 880, a narrow-body jetliner produced by the Convair division of General Dynamics. The Convair 880 was known for its speed. It was one of the fastest subsonic commercial jets of its time, slightly faster than its competitors like the Boeing 707 and Douglas DC-8. However, it was less fuel efficient and had a smaller passenger capacity, which ultimately limited its commercial success. This particular airframe, serial number 22, was delivered to Delta Airlines in 1960. Delta operated a fleet of Convair 880s for over a decade. During its time with Delta, the plane would have flown scheduled passenger routes across the United States. Imagine the very same aircraft that would later feature a queen-size bed and gold-plated bathroom fixtures, for Elvis once carried hundreds of everyday travelers, vacationers, and business people. It would have operated with the standard airline seating configuration of the era, likely accommodating around 88 to 110 passengers in typical two-class or all-economy layouts. It wore the Delta livery and served the airline dutifully, contributing to the expansion of jet travel in the 1960s. However, by the mid-1970s, airlines like Delta were phasing out less efficient aircraft like the Convair 880 in favor of newer, larger, and more economical wide-body jets. This particular aircraft was retired from Delta's service and put up for sale. That's when Elvis Presley, seeking a larger, faster intercontinental-capable jet to replace his smaller Lockheed Jetstar, which he later named the Hound Dog II, entered the picture. In April 1975, he purchased the retired Delta Convair 880. So, the next time you see the Lisa Marie at Graceland, remember its history. It wasn't built specially for Elvis. It was a seasoned veteran of the commercial skies, given an extraordinary second life. Its transformation from a workhorse passenger jet into one of the most famous and luxurious private planes in the world is a fascinating part of its story. It flew under the Delta banner for years before it ever bore the name Lisa Marie or the TCB logo. Number 2, it was named after his young daughter, Lisa Marie Presley. One of the most heartwarming and personal facts about Elvis's beloved Convair 880 jet is its name, the Lisa Marie. Elvis didn't choose a flashy name related to his music or image. Instead, he named his prized possession after the most important person in his life, his daughter, Lisa Marie Presley. Elvis purchased the jet in April 1975, when Lisa Marie was just 7 years old. The decision to name the aircraft after her was a profound gesture of love and affection from a father to his child. It transformed the plane from just an expensive asset into something deeply personal and sentimental. The naming wasn't just an informal nickname, it was official. The name Lisa Marie was painted prominently on the exterior of the aircraft, near the cockpit, usually accompanied by the American flag and the TCB, taking care of business lightning bolt logo, which Elvis used as his personal motto and emblem for his entourage. Seeing her name emblazoned on the side of this enormous, luxurious jet must have been quite something for young Lisa Marie. Reports suggest that Elvis formally christened the plane Lisa Marie shortly after the extensive customization work was completed later in 1975. Imagine a small ceremony, perhaps with Lisa Marie present, officially dedicating this magnificent flying machine to her. This act of naming the plane solidified its connection to the Presley family legacy. It wasn't just Elvis's jet, it was the Lisa Marie. This personal touch made the aircraft even more special and iconic. It represented not just his fame and fortune, but also his role as a father. Throughout the remainder of his life, Elvis frequently used the Lisa Marie to travel between Memphis, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and tour destinations. It also flew Lisa Marie herself on various occasions, allowing her to visit her father or travel with him. The plane named in her honor literally carried her through the skies. Even the call sign used by the pilots when communicating with air traffic control reflected Elvis's persona. They often used the call sign Hound Dog 1 for the Lisa Marie, a nod to one of his most famous songs. But the official painted name on the fuselage remained a tribute to his daughter. This naming convention depicts the deep bond between Elvis and Lisa Marie, making the aircraft more than just a piece of machinery. It's a symbol of family connection amidst the whirlwind of superstardom. Number 1. The guest bathroom sink basin was literally made of gold. When we talk about luxury on the Lisa Marie, we're not kidding around. Elvis Presley's attention to opulent detail extended even to the washrooms, particularly the guest bathroom. While many private jets boast high-end finishes, Elvis took it to another level. The sink basin in one of the Akinyi bathrooms wasn't just gold-plated. According to Graceland's official accounts and numerous reports over the years, the basin itself was crafted from solid gold, or at the very least heavily and entirely plated in 24-karat gold. Imagine washing your hands in a basin made of pure gleaming gold, thousands of feet in the air. But the Midas touch didn't stop there. The faucets, the taps, and likely other fixtures within that bathroom were also heavily gold-plated. This wasn't subtle luxury, it was an unabashed display of wealth and Elvis's unique style. Think about the visual impact, the bright, reflective shine of polished gold contrasting with the other materials in the restroom. It would have been undeniably striking and incredibly extravagant. This level of detail highlights the no expense spared approach taken during the plane's extensive customization. While the Master Suite bathroom also featured gold accents, the solid gold sink basin in the guest washroom became one of the most talked about and remembered features of the Lisa Marie's interior. It perfectly encapsulates the almost mythical level of luxury associated with Elvis during the final years of his life. It wasn't just functional, it was a statement piece, designed to impress and perhaps even awe anyone fortunate enough to fly aboard the King's private jet. This single feature, a sink made of gold, speaks volumes about the overall design philosophy for the Lisa Marie. If it could be made more luxurious, more comfortable, or more visually stunning, it was done, regardless of the cost. It's a detail that firmly cements the Lisa Marie's reputation as a true flying palace,